Hello.
Hey, Triton, what's up?
Not much.
Cool. People at Roastafarian, can you just let me know if his audio and my audio is balanced? Because, like, I don't know from my end. And if you need me to make him louder or vice versa, let me know. Otherwise, we will just assume the audio is perfect. Which is a horrible assumption, but it's fine.
Yeah, you should never assume your audio is perfect. It's something I've learned over the years.
Yeah, never ever. Even if you have it perfect last week, perfectly the week before, it will not be perfect
hmm
this week. Awesome. Well, today, hey Cosmic, what's going on? We're excited to do a pairwise analysis of AlphaGo versus AlphaGo. If you don't know, um, there's a link. I'll put it in the description when I put this video on YouTube, um, where these games were released of AlphaGo playing itself. This is prior to Lee Sedol, so no one actually knows how strong it has gotten, but this was the level it was playing at before it played Lee Sedol and it was like versing himself. And it was pretty insane. There's some really cool moves that like no one would have ever considered to be actual things, but AlphaGo did. The third game in particular, which we're going to go over, is really cool because it's a hyper territory versus hyper influence game. One version of AlphaGo is playing super territorial, the other is playing super influential. So the thrilling conclusion you'll see at the end. And joining me here is Triton from TritonBaduk. Everyone say hi, or Triton say hi to everyone.
All right, I can say hi to everyone. Hello, everyone.
Awesome. Cool. So I guess we'll just go through like a very um, quick rundown of the game, like very shallow sort of. This is the flow of it. I'll pick out some notable points that I think are pretty cool, and then you can stop me if you pick something that you think is pretty cool. And then we'll
Okay.
go deeper into the analysis after the whole game is up on here. So,
All right, sounds good.
starts off. Literally, I think every game that it played with itself started off the same. And this opening, actually, Black's opening is really cool. I've experimented with it in my own games, and it's worked out really well for me. So normally Black launches into the Chinese, but first Black is going to make this exchange here. White responds, then Black goes into the Chinese, aiming for even more rapid development. Because,
Um,
yeah, go.
I'm glad that you were able to try this out in your games, because each time I go to play it on Taijim, someone always pincers my C6 stone right
Oh.
away. So I never get to play this opening, and I've been really wanting to
Yeah.
play it.
Sometimes I do. When
But
I
it's
do, it's
yeah,
worked out pretty well because, like, the thing is, like, White can't profitably attack this one Black stone right now. Like, Black can
yeah.
Tanuki away. And, is White really gonna, like, put all of his moves into, like, killing? And even still, there's stuff that you can do with this stone. So, it's a nice exchange because Black can do something with it or just completely leave it uh, at
Yeah,
some
black
point.
black is playing very flexibly, and that's a very it seems to be exactly what AlphaGo is always trying to do, as white and black is to play flexibly.
Mm
So it's
hmm.
really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely love it. And I love how chill it is in certain situations where pros are like, well, how could you do that? I didn't know that was even. Alpha goes like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So White is going to approach on this side first. So White's not going to waste a stone trying to attack this first. He's going to wait to see if the situation becomes more profitable later. Black's going to back off. And this is pretty standard. I'm pretty sure this happens all the time. Except this doesn't. So this is another notable difference between pro games and AlphaGo's games, which they were surprised about. So normally Black would play.
No,
Oh no,
that
this was
move.
right. It was the follow up.
Yeah,
It was
that
the
move
follow
is
up.
right. It's just the
This
follow
one.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because normally black will always play S15 here, like after white on ace to block the outside.
Yes. That was the one. And then
Yeah,
here, here, here. Something like this.
yeah.
And the idea being like Black would be able to attack um, the triangled stone later. Or it's
Well,
thicker on the outside, right? It's like a combo
Well, yeah, but yeah, black is very thick on the outside, but white also gets something really nice because white has a move at S14.
S14. Ah, yeah.
And depending on how white responds, like if I mean, what black responds. If black responds like this, then white doesn't have to play any more moves in the corner because he's alive.
Right. And then white could like jump away. Well, probably too close, but like jump away.
Like three spaces, yeah.
Yeah. Something like this. So that's how usually things go. But AlphaGo did not do that. He just was like, all right, we're just going to do this. No worries. Which I don't know. I kind of like... I guess I'm not good enough to really be more comfortable as black in the other situation. But I think this is okay for black. It might be letting white get off too comfortably, which was why pros didn't like it.
Oh, the reason why pros don't really enjoy the situation, first of all, it feels like you're backing down, and you don't really want to back down. But also, there's really good end game for white. So capturing the stone on the top is worth around 8 to 10 points.
Yeah.
And then there's possibility for a clamp later.
Right.
Or just the Hane.
So this would be like
really
a 10
big with
point,
endgame.
Almost Sente, if this is like around endgame when the clamp would matter. This exchange almost still ends in Gote for black, because you'd have to do something here, depending on the points on the board. So yeah, that's true. Good endgame potential. Though AlphaGo never made it really to the endgame against a human, so I guess it doesn't. This is very
I guess it doesn't really matter.
So that's another notable difference.
But the other notable difference is that white just has the corner and isn't spread very far along the board. Because with the other variation, white is able to get a move around R10. Yeah, so if we do the block on the outside, yeah, white can play around R10 after black responds here, and white has a nice fast development along the board and a corner.
Right. We can see white's sort of stones are pretty much on par in terms of flexibility and spacing.
Yeah, and I never liked this position as black. I always had a bad game when I play it this way.
Might be why. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's not black is thicker, but it doesn't feel like it feels like its thickness is a little close to the stones. But that's
it's hard to use thickness.
Yeah, at least for me still. I'm much better at trying to just invade and just run away than trying to use thickness. So I'll have to get better at that. So black still doesn't defend this one stone. He actually goes and breaks white up on this side, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit, I don't know, like black just wants to keep the board sort of unsettled and not just turn into framework versus framework, I guess.
Right.
It's kind of interesting. Which
is cool. I hate framework versus framework games. I like shudder when I think about them. So this is good. You know, the basics foundation, right? Always try to make a base inside your opponent's sphere of influence or get some stones in there so you can do something with them. And then rather than make a 2-space base, which most of us would probably do, black very lightly sort of jumps away here. And so what do you think? I think that the reason this was sort of not played is white has a lot of like really great sort of follow-ups in this sort of direction. If like the center became profitable, white can press black down. White could kick even if he wanted to secure the corner. So it feels like this 2-space doesn't secure much territory, and it can just be harassed if white has the right timing. Versus this, which is more flexible, right?
And this helps with the C6 stone, because if white attacks that stone and gets influence in that area, black is already negating the influence.
Yeah, true. Multi-purpose. Oh, this is great. I love how AlphaGo, there was no strategy programmed in AlphaGo. Like, zero. It knew nothing. And it just kept playing itself and reviewing pro games until it got amazing.
And I think it actually went over amateur games for a while. Like down level games on KGS is where it started, I believe. And so it's interesting that it developed this way.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, the next one is a mind blow. This one, according to the game record, had the professionals like going insane. AlphaGo played here, which actually, after looking at it, I really like it.
Yeah, you really have to think about it for a bit, but
yeah,
like this is not an intuitive move. Like I wouldn't play this. Maybe someone on TieGym, like playing a random Don player on TieGym, they would just attach everywhere.
Yep.
But yep. According to like traditional theory, I just wouldn't think of a move like this.
Yeah, understanding the meaning like behind is very important because it's like so easy to misuse it. But I can sort of see where it's coming from because really any place white plays in this area, black's going to get stronger, right? If white plays here, he's jumping into a pincer, and we all know how that goes. White's got to try to make something here. And so there's really no way to get around. So white could wait until black has more of a framework and then like maybe play some sort of cosmic point or, you know, something over here. But I kind of like the idea of just, look, you're going to be stronger if I play there anyway. I'm just going to make you stronger in the most vulgar, fighty way possible. And, like, just try to make Sabaki from it, basically.
Well, that is something we're learning from the Korean style and AlphaGo, is that just because the move looks vulgar doesn't mean it's a bad move.
Yeah. It's sort of
that's why this move's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that because, like, back when, you know, back in the 80s or before then, Go's always been very like this. It's like very beautiful, right? It's got a flow and like everything's got to be like aesthetically very nice. And then we're sort of getting into this street Go, not street Go, but like the hard knocks. Like if it's practical, it's good. Sort of.
Yeah. So, it's very interesting.
So black goes up, white goes up, and black is going to Hane under, which is interesting. I would have done this. I'm not going to lie. I probably would have done this. Just heating the Hane at the head of 2 stones. But I think giving white the corner is just a little too... Let's white off a little too easy. So black goes here. But it's not beautiful.
Yeah, I was reading the music then. But it's not beautiful, yep.
All right, so now black's got a corner, but white is pretty...
Well, and actually, like, up to here, most professionals actually saw that white could play this, but they said that it was bad for white. What they didn't see was the next move.
Yes, this was the other thing that just made them go insane. And it's really funny reading about, like, professionals, like, being mind-blown at moves. Because, like, this level is, like, so far beyond, like, what we're capable of. Like, we're not really surprised. We're just like, oh, like, that's cool.
Yeah, so when you hear a professional like that, it's like, you're surprised? I mean, I just watched one of your games, and I'm just shocked at all the moves that you play. I mean, why are you surprised about this?
Yeah, seriously. So, yeah, so we actually see white make this really interesting attachment. More Sabaki-type stuff. And it's interesting that when white chooses to sort of attach and sort of play lightly versus heavy. Because I feel like if I was in... I guess all this is forced. But I probably wouldn't have extended. I guess that's sort of forced too.
Well, if we think of the left side, that's actually kind of like the avalanche, one of the variations of the avalanche Joseki. So this is sort of a Joseki. It's sort of reverted to a Joseki.
Right. I never played.
So, yeah.
That's true. So that makes sense. It's cool how things can revert into that. And then so we see black Hane this way. White Hane down. Ready to sacrifice stones if necessary. Black doesn't take the bait. Just connects up. Allows white to extend. And black extends. And here is another thing that surprised the professionals. White did not keep this going. White actually completely spit in the face of the Hane at the head of 2 stones proverb and went here.
Yeah, I would have such a hard time not extending right there.
Yeah. But there's so much that we play and Go because, like, I mean, we see it work in a lot of situations, but a large part of it is like we're just told, right? We're just told that it's like this is the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's just what proverbs are, you know, like the honey head of 2 and 3. We know that that's usually bad, and we should only Tanuki if there's a more important spot. But it's hard to say right now that invading in the bottom is more important.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually makes sense when you start to look at it more. It's like, AlphaGo.
Yeah. And the idea being is if black gets this double Hane, it's white's safe, its purpose was completed, and now black has these 2 little cutting points that it has to worry about, which makes the center not as secure as these pushes would make it appear to be. So
Yeah, we can't really see what black's profit actually is.
Right.
Because white got to play the move on the bottom.
Right. Yeah, but if black had a few shoulder hit, if this was a thing, I doubt white would have Tanuki'd, but it's not, so we got
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. So we see white play here. And black doesn't take, and so neither side actually thinks the honey is that important, which was another thing we thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So black will go here. We get sort of the common, not that one.
That's very common. What are you talking about?
Do it all the time. Oh, hey, Ina. What's up?
Hello, Ina.
Common sacrifice exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And here. Because I don't think the ladder works.
And actually, the ladder does work.
It does. Oh, because
Yes.
can white push and make me Is that?
White can actually push in at C14.
That was it, yep.
And then he can cut on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll go through that after the end. That's a cool one. I like that sequence.
Yeah, so we'll go through that one when it gets to more detailed stuff, yeah.
So, black makes a base, pretty cash. So white's not going to answer, right? It's important to always think about, what you need to answer, because this is still open. So white doesn't, the life and death of white's 2 stones are not affected if black takes the corner at S3, so it's really all about what move on the board is worth the most, not what's in danger. So white decides to kick this stone, threatening to smother it and build up a lot of center points on the lower left. Black Tanuki's that. And
another shocking sort of move.
This is really interesting because white, this is not a lot of points for white. It's very interesting that black chose this spot to try to start a fight with. But
he just wants to make white weak if possible, so that he can get something from it, of course.
This might be what black was sort of aiming at, forcing white to push out so black gets more of the side. But that's speculation. Here, and then push again. Black Tanuki's that, I believe. Yep. And
take his profit.
Yep. And so now black's completely connected now, right? Or he's got a much better.
He should. Yeah, he should be connected until white gets more moves in the area.
Yeah. And so now white gets a chance to run ahead. And again.
Oh.
And here. And white gets this Hane, which is so cool.
Oh.
And we'll go through... Oh, the push first.
Yeah, white doesn't Hane.
It makes it all work. Now the Hane works.
Well, not he doesn't actually Hane.
Oh, he does the throw. I keep messing up the order. Trying to play from memory, being a big shot, and I keep messing up. And he still doesn't... Oh, that just comes later. I think because I loved that move so much, I just want to play it right now. But
it's
he
possible.
Actually doesn't. So, sorry guys, you'll have to wait for that Hane. He actually plays a very global sort of connecting, strengthening, hinting at a Moyo sort of.
Yeah, and they sort of called this move the if AlphaGo was to have an ear-reddening move, this one would be it.
Yes, they did say that. That was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
A circuit reddening move, if you will.
Maybe, yeah.
So let's move on. So black starts to attack something as a weak group, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
White's like, all right, now I'm not weak anymore. Well, not as weak. Black pushes. This was interesting. Black's making just very interesting plays that white keeps ignoring, and it's always okay.
Well, it's like what we're sort of taught, like in this situation, is that white's really weak, so you have to run out.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't Lee Sedol have an actual circuit right now? I guess he did, Uru. But no, it's like you can, like white knows that if he just runs out with this, his center potential is not going to be anything.
Right, because black can launch an attack from the top and then bleed into the center from that. Yeah.
But so if you can Tanuki and still live, then you might as well.
Right. And then white plays this. It wasn't even a Hane. It was just the.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know why. I just, for some reason. Okay. That's all good. I went through it really early this morning before work, so.
Excuses.
Oh,
well, he actually didn't push yet either.
Oh, that exchange. I'm forgetting these exchanges.
Yes.
That's
That's good you have the game open.
Yeah, right. That's why I'm not AlphaGo, people. I'm just playing better moves than AlphaGo. AlphaGo should have played my.
Maybe. It's possible.
I couldn't keep a straight face. Alright. So now this happens.
Yes.
Here. Connects. And saves. So black has a lot of points.
There we go.
A lot of points, but white has a lot of potential. And white's corner is huge. Like insanely huge. Funnily enough, I think, was this the moment? Yeah, so the win rate for both sides was only 51. For black was like 51%. I would totally think white was in the lead right now. Just from like how much.
Yeah, and I believe that's
power.
what I believe that's what the professionals are saying. It felt like white was just pushing black around up until now.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, black has a lot of points, and it's not a bad game at all for black.
Yeah.
So they were really shocked when they heard that. They're like, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right."
I guess. Oh, that must be so humbling for like a group of professionals to just get that result and it's like, wow, I guess you're right. So black plays a sector line / attack / bunch of different things at once move with this cap. So rather than protect or do something passive, white very actively goes out with his group, probably threatening to counterattack.
Yeah, threatening to counterattack at if white leaves that group more, then it might actually become a liability here soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So black needs to worry, or white needs to worry about that more. Black's gonna make a really interesting attachment. I love how AlphaGo developed a Korean style. This is hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is an attachment that you actually don't see too much in professional games. This is something that AlphaGo is very fond of, it seems.
Mm-hmm. It loves those attaches. Which is interesting because like attaching feels to me like there's like so many directions it can be taken. So it feels like the least straightforward thing to calculate, but I guess AlphaGo doesn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Interesting that white decides to make this endgame play right now. Oh, almost, actually.
Oh.
There's one more press. A few more exchanges. So white presses black. Black ignores. Now white does it because his group needs to be alive. So.
Yes.
And now black protects. So now black's even getting points on the right. So white keeps pressing down, gaining power. And black secures the safety of his group. So now everything relies on how well black can reduce white with his attacks in the middle right now.
Yeah, and this is the part that I struggle with in my own games. I mean, it seems so easy.
You struggle with as the invader or as the I've got
as the invader.
Yeah.
Like just getting rid of a Moyo.
What really helped me, I think, at least get better at that was the idea that like you need to like aim at something. Like, you can't just like plop a stone in the middle of this insanely powerful thing and expect to be okay. You got to be like, there's the tiniest weakness here, and if I can make you cover that, I get a free move in here, you know. So white begins by separating. Black.
It's a very important move.
Yeah. Black needs to help his stuff, sort of hinting at trying to link up to the top. White prepares to make that not happen. I think black needs this move now to keep these stones from dying.
Yeah, you can't give white more points.
Yeah. And so now white hits the shape point, coming from his strength, so all really good moves. Black makes... Oh, what's this called? Is this a name for this? I think there is a name for this. It's just like a good shape, but I forget the name.
I don't know if there's an actual name for the 3-knight move thing here, but it's just a very flexible.
It's flexible. It can make eyes. It can wrap around.
Can get rid of. You can try to capture any of the stones, and he's willing to get rid of them.
Yeah. So white attaches, probably hoping to make black heavy in some way.
Yeah, which is this one's weird as well.
Yeah, this is where it starts getting weird. This is where things get very weird. Black just ignores. Decides he'll drop as many stones as he needs just to try to get to safety. So white will take that stone. Thank you very much. Black will try to take that white stone. White Ataris. Black is starting to, I think, feel that this sort of middle-ish area is getting a little too big. So he wants to try to make some exchanges here. And do a double.
Yeah, he's just trying to attack white. Oh, don't connect.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Right, because now he's trying to indirectly, by making exchanges here, weaken the right side, the lower right side. And black is trying to cut it off. So white's like, okay, time to live locally, people. We're not getting out of here. We're going to be here a while. But it didn't really actually matter. Black didn't follow through. There's no way to kill this? I guess there's not, otherwise black totally
the white group is alive because of the Aji. And it's just, in my, like, if I was playing this game, that would have been a little frustrating, but AlphaGo doesn't care. But the professionals actually thought that black played poorly here.
Yeah, they thought this was like the mistake.
Yeah, because if white can live, then what's the point of doing all of this?
Right. Maybe it was to get some exchanges into breaking up this little section that white started to go off, but it just feels a little desperate.
Yeah, maybe.
So black gets his nose in, so that's cool. White keeps probably about 9 points. That's not 9. That's like 6.
Well, and then keep strong to get rid of all the Aji.
Yeah. Yep. White, life and death. Is this necessary?
It's not necessary. Another bad move, actually.
That was another thing the pros were like, not sure
about that. It's a bad
end-game
in-game exchange. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, see, it's Gote even. So black gets to Atari here. White apparently doesn't care. I guess maybe White calculates it has enough to win, so he should just keep Black from getting more points up top. So maybe that's the purpose of that move.
Yeah, something along those lines, yeah.
And then now Black is trying to attack these 3 stones. And I think this is Black's last-ditch effort, if my review of the game was right. If Black can't cut these off, I think it's going to start freaking out soon. White just doesn't even care.
Well, this is a good little tactic to sacrifice more.
Black goes up. Makes a diagonal. Tari. And White's going to connect that up now, which is really cool. So White manages to get connected.
In Sente, because Black has to even respond.
In Sente, that's amazing. I mean, Black's group is safe, but White's thing wasn't dead, and it would have been really nice if Black could kill that. But
yeah, but even if Black captured those 3 stones, because he had a way of doing it, he didn't have enough points.
Yeah. And so now White gets to just run away and be all right.
Yeah, this move connects everything up.
And good forcing exchange.
Guess we're getting into some end game now.
Yep. And I think Black is going to start going on the fritz soon. Yep. Here it is.
Yep.
There
It's just a really bad exchange. Give White a couple points. I guess it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
and that move.
And then
yeah.
Just gasping for breath right now.
That is a cool Tessage. Well, not that. White's move.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it keeps it from getting spliced.
Mm-hmm.
And here, Black should resign in a few moves.
I think it goes on for a couple more moves, but the game is basically over at this point. It's an 80% chance or something of White winning.
Yeah, it was something huge.
Yeah.
Oh. White just ignores that and goes here.
Yeah.
Because I guess, yeah, it's bigger. That's funny. Yeah, this just goes with Black sort of toast.
Yeah, this is something that a lot of bots just in general do. They know they can't win, so just play moves everywhere.
Yeah. How long does this go on? Wow, this goes on for a while.
I think,
yeah, 10 more moves.
Yeah, I think it's almost over. Yeah.
So once again, influence beats territory. I was typing to you. I was like, I wish for once the max territory guy would have won against the influence guy, but it never happens. I would love to see that happens.
I guess it really does mean that influence is a good thing to have, but it's really hard to balance your influence and territory.
Yeah, it might be why computers are so good at being influential, because their ability to score, estimate, and calculate is so much better than ours.
And they don't have anything like what stuff that we learn. They don't have the things that we're sort of learning, the principles and concepts and such, and so they're just playing according to what they believe is best.
Yeah. All right, so I destroyed the tree. This tree is
yeah, it's absolutely gross. It's great.
Oh my god, it's as bad as Go playing. All right, so let's go through some of the interesting bits. So we talked about this move.
Mm-hmm.
Why this was cool. Okay, we talked about.
We can talk about.
Cool.
I guess we should mention why we don't want to do anything like pinstring on the left and such.
Oh yeah. So, what are you thinking? When should we
Well,
pincer?
well, can I have control actually?
Over here. Yeah.
I guess it would be a little bit easier. There we go. Yes. So the reason white wants to play something in the top is because, like this is sort of a normal move that everyone tells you should play. You know, you kick the stone in order to attack it. You make it heavy. If they extend, you can then do your attack. But in this case, AlphaGo said that it would play this way. And how does this look for you? Like, what do you feel about this?
I'm white. I'm not happy.
Yeah,
Not happy.
it's no good because like if white decides to get some influence here, like where's white's influence going to do?
So little, because that
already...
K4 stone is just perfectly placed.
Yeah, this is just in a really good spot. And even if white attacks this area, I mean, if we just do something simple, it's like, does white even owe a move still? I mean, what did black get? What did white get? White got like 10 points,
10.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
and
no,
this
like,
really
white has
good.
0 developmental potential from his corner. It's just
And
completely...
Uru says he likes that for black. Of course. Yeah, so it was like these 3 stones at the bottom. These don't really matter at all.
Yeah.
They're just good exchanges. There's nothing we can do about it. And so the other idea is like, should you just pincer? But
which I like a little bit, but black still gets a big more.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. It's that like if white pincers too closely, then black can just give up the stone. But if white pincers further away, then black can just live. Just if we play this normal variation, does white's move look good?
Yeah.
White's move looks really stupid now. D10.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything.
Yeah, if you switch the order and make D10, then the last move. That
yeah, like if we just, if you know, it's just we want that to be somewhere else on the board for sure. Yeah. So that's why like it's really interesting because you sort of learn as you play, like as you get taught and as you watch videos and read books that there's this weak stone here, and you should try to attack the weak stone. But the other thing we learn is that we need to have profit.
Yes.
But we can't really get profit from attacking this one.
Yeah. Attacking everything you see, regardless of if you get profit or not. It's kind of like if you're fighting, or if anybody's into martial arts, right? And they just throw constant like haymakers, right? They just punch all the time. It doesn't matter if their opponent's blocking or where his stance is. They're just going to keep... And the risk with that is you overextend, and you don't get anything for your effort. Then your opponent can...
Yeah, actually, I did boxing for a little bit, and they said that you don't win the fight by just punching the person over and over and over. You win the fight by outlasting your opponent. You have more endurance than your opponent. And that's sort of a similar thing here. It's like black has more things that he can do.
Yeah.
You know, he's more endurance.
And you saw that even if anybody's a Muhammad Ali fan, right? You'd see that in his fights, right? If the boxer did not KO Muhammad Ali like within the first 30 within the first few rounds, he was gonna win because he just tires you out and doesn't attack you until he's sure that he can profit the most, like from his strikes, which is cool.
And I guess. Do we need to go over anything over here?
So we talked about that, right? Do you know any of the variations that they mentioned, like if black cross cuts? Do you know that offhand? Because I can look them up and show them.
I know for the most part, like if black just decides to do this, this is really bad because this turned from framework on the top to just third line territory. White's just smashing black down. So that's no good. And if black Hane's on this side, then white can crosscut. And according to the commentary, I believe they said that this was the strongest move that black could play.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that black has these weak stones.
Yeah.
And so while white is sort of going back and fighting against him, he's going to have to worry about both sides. And I think here he did... it's like this I don't remember all this stuff. Like, I think there was a Hane and this, and then the cut.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull it up. So if white Hanes... Or sorry, white attaches, black extends. White goes. Oh, sorry. Black Hanes. Here. Turn. So, yep, you're good. You got it.
Like something like this.
Yeah, dude. Very nice.
All right, good.
And then
this exchange.
Yes. A+.
Yeah, I remembered.
A+.
But yeah, so it's like this
Black
looks
still
really
has a
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks really complicated, but black still has a weak group, and if he runs out with this stone, then white can push here and attack the middle stones.
Right.
And if black does this, white can just capture this area. We'll capture that stone, and there's a little bit of Aji in the top. And white's not necessarily dead on the top left, so there's still Aji there.
Yeah, because I'm looking at P18 for white if black doesn't do anything there locally.
Yeah, I think we'll just.
But I think the timing needs to be better, because black has.
Yeah, so I mean, like if it's like this,
yeah,
he can connect underneath. But is that two eyes?
Nope. Exactly.
So there is like some real obvious Aji here. So it's almost like black has to respond to that.
Yep.
And if black has to respond to that, then white gets the next move.
Yeah.
But I thought these were really interesting.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
But it's all about reading at this point. When you attach to something, you just have to read out to see if it works or not.
Yeah. Or just hope that your opponent just does the one thing that everyone does when they...
Just hope, I guess. I guess hope is also something.
You're
right?
like, this looks cool.
Yeah.
See what's up. Because I guarantee you the people on TieGem are not reading this much when they attach to everything.
No, they're just attaching and going more for it. Oh yeah, this.
Hey, Allirenz, what's up?
I want to see the. Oh, okay. Someone else there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the ladder. So there actually is a ladder here.
I love
because
this one.
of this.
Making me eye of everything.
Yeah. So if black captures here, then he just ladders it out, and that actually does work.
That's so cool.
I mean,
and then if he
right on the edge,
and if he runs out his ladder,
yeah, if he just Ataris or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, like, that corner could die potentially. Black doesn't do something, and yeah.
And the left side is 0 points now.
Yep.
But also, the reason why white didn't end up playing the ladder is because black can just ignore it. Because if white just captures now, then
black has like
he can.
Bat. I was looking at E6.
E6. Stuff like this.
Yeah. If he just black wanted to just be like, you're not expanding from that.
Yeah, it's like it's just the like you normally don't want to give a Panuki. It's like what Panuki were 30 points in the center, something like that. But it's a Panuki and Gote that and if you don't take right away, there's so much Aji there.
Yeah.
But this is definitely something I have to remember is this push cut and yeah, because that was a cool ladder breaker.
That was so sweet.
Yeah,
I dug that.
That was awesome. Let's see, where was this one? Let's see if I can follow the tree. This is something that we should all definitely try out in our own games, though.
This was such an interesting move. It felt so slow. Like, I
Well, but
would
also it's
never in
like
a million years have thought to play there.
it was also like a Black's idea as well.
Mm.
He does not going to respond to it. And AlphaGo never likes to respond to this kick. Because for some reason, let's just play a simple move. If AlphaGo gets this, lots of people... the guest is TritonBaduk. That's me.
Yes, good friend. One of the first people I sort of met when starting my Go adventure online. Yeah. Do you stream still? Or do videos?
Well, I stopped for a while, and I was going to come back after
Let
this.
me know
basically.
when you make a comeback, and I'll put his information for his Twitch stream in the video description on YouTube, and you can check him out.
Okay. Yeah. So AlphaGo, though, for some reason he believes that this move for white is not actually that important or that big, which is just ridiculous. Like,
yeah, a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah. But this is also sort of an exchange that he really likes to do here. So just remember, like in your own games, you don't always have to respond to the kick, especially if it's if there's already this extension at F3.
Right. We've been talking the whole time about sort of keeping that stone light, that we can really sort of do what we want with it.
I'm sorry, Ina. I didn't finish the 100 games. I sort of lost a little bit of interest in playing for a bit, and I tried to do the 100 game challenge in order to get my interest back, but I ended up doing something else instead. But that's the thing I'm gonna come back and start doing. It's easy to stream Taijim. Let's see if there's anything else in the game. Oops, wrong one.
Yay, clams.
Clamp. There we go. It's hard to find everything on the tree.
This was cool. One of the reasons
yeah. This move is another thing we need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
It's very important. Like, without this move, if white just continues, black can just connect up right away. So if white makes the exchange, then it's harder for black to connect up, and he has to invest more moves in killing off or connecting in this area.
Right.
So that's something that AlphaGo does all the time. They sacrifice stones. AlphaGo sacrifices stones, and even after the stones are sacrificed, they still use them to get some compensation somehow.
Yeah, and a lot of times they get unsacrificed at some point too. Like,
it's like, I don't know how that happened, but okay. Ear reddening move there.
Yeah.
Circuit reddening, I guess.
So the reason I wanted to Hane was just because of the variation. Can we go back? If black Ataris.
If black Atari's here?
Yeah.
Oh, so like this?
Yeah, that was what I was like thinking of that whole time. I wanted to play the Atari.
Yeah, because this would be really good for white.
Yeah,
he just gets to kill off this C6 stone right away.
Yeah. So that's actually the choice between Atarying that push cut stone thing that people do and connecting is actually very important. And oftentimes you don't want to Atari it if the stones on the other side are short of liberties, if it's like a 3 or 4 stone stick that's like even with your opponent's wall, because this happens a lot in games.
Yeah, it does. It happens all the time. Sometimes they do it and they shouldn't have, though.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
There's one other move that I thought was really interesting that you should definitely try out. This attachment here.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
So if we go back to the beginning, actually, just go to after that Joseki. Yes. So like this attachment is always here.
Okay.
And it's not something I actually thought too much about before I saw the AlphaGo games, truthfully. But it's actually really strong because no matter what white does here, like if white just stands up, then like doesn't this just look really bad for white already? Black can just make a base.
Yeah, because it's Gote, and black just doesn't care.
Yeah, white kind of still needs a move to make sure that they're alive on top. And if he comes down here, then you can just crawl over the top.
And then, of course, trying to Hane results in getting cut. So.
You can like honey underneath or honey on top. It depends on where you want to have your stones. But I never really thought of this, and so it's like now whenever I play this Joseki, I'm definitely gonna just like throw this stone down when I'm going to invade on that side now.
Yeah, that helps so much. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, because in the game he approached here.
It was beautifully timed too.
Let's just put this down. It's like there's so much room on the other sides. Like even if white plays here, this attachment still
exists.
Works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there, and so it's like this side is not even points yet. It's like there's, all sorts of weird, annoying things in this area. Yeah, so there's lots of cool moves that AlphaGo is sort of showing everybody. It's not that they never existed. It's just that we never really thought of doing it, or it never really occurred to us that it mattered.
Yeah.
So I think like the normal thing over here is just to approach right here instead of attach. Because if they jump, there's some Aji here. You can just cut through.
Yep.
So you can't actually jump there. You have to do this. And that's sort of the only one that I really ever played in my games.
Doesn't feel as good.
No, the attachment is like, oh wow, that's like way better.
Yeah.
So there's definitely at least two things that I'm going to be getting from this game. I'm like, of course I'm going to play this move whenever I can, but
that's so funny. It's just so hilarious.
It's just remembering that I don't have to respond to the kick in the way that everyone believes you should, and that there's this attachment here. Mm-hmm. Very good moves to try to start using.
I think one thing that I'm going to take away is that light jump defense, that K4 move. I really like that.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one has been used a lot, but it's gaining more popularity in pro games. But I've always had a hard time using it.
Yeah.
Because I think I used it in the wrong spots, and so I stopped using it for a while.
Yep.
But I definitely need to try this out again too. To be more flexible, I guess, is what I need to work on.
Exactly. Yeah. What was that? I think I read something of Fuseki is, in the translation, the real translation of Fuseki is like formation of groups. So I feel like when people when Westerners try to learn Go, there's just a lot of misconceptions about concepts that that sort of happen, right? Like the beginning of the game is like setting up your base for your army to go and fight. Like you need optimum fighting environment for.
Yeah, like your Fuseki is your strategy.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I've always translated it, because like you can play however you want in the opening, but like if I play this, then everyone knows what I'm trying to accomplish. This is a specific strategy, right?
Right.
And it's even the same with this. It's like this is a specific strategy.
Right. And a lot of people don't really understand like that. If I have control for a second. That strategy, right? Like, so the Chinese here is aiming to make a moyo on the bottom. It's not aiming to make a moyo per se on the right side. It's aiming to make a moyo on the bottom, which is why we see a lot of the common responses being on the bottom, and no one's just jumping in. Like, this is the worst thing you can do against the Chinese, because the Chinese wants to develop the bottom, and you're just like, oh wow, great, thanks, I would love to do that. I would love to develop the bottom and the right side, sure, why not, I'll take both. And then so the micro Chinese, which is this one, doesn't really aim to do anything on the it's micro, mini, I forget. But this doesn't have anything to do with the bottom. It aims to develop a moyo on the right side, because with these sort of stones here, we can just imagine, black getting a double wing is huge. The whole right side is swallowed, the bottom is swallowed. So it's
we're trying to invite whites to come in.
Exactly. It's like a honeypot, like a Venus flytrap. And then
yeah, exactly.
That's why we see most of the responses on the right side, because playing on the bottom is exactly what black would want you to do. So if you played on the bottom, black would not only get to develop the bottom, but he would just super crudely, right? He wouldn't only get to develop the bottom, but he also get to develop the right-hand side, which was the point of what he was trying to do anyway. So, right? So understanding the strategies is like very important in Fuseki, and then how you execute them, of course, is shape and Joseki and all of that.
Yeah, and that's why I just kind of loosely translate Fuseki to mean strategy in my brain. That helps me when I'm playing, at least.
Yeah. Let's see. That's cool.
Oh. Those are just the random moves.
Oh no, I don't know where.
The tree is too complicated.
Oh no. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, so it had to be there.
And then white attaches in the top left.
Yes. Okay,
yes.
So we narrowed the branch down. Okay, I think we're good.
I have most of the game memorized, but not 100%.
Okay, so that goes out.
It seems like it's going the right way so far.
I think we're good. Okay, cool. So you keep going. We did that. You did that. Okay. All right. So I think we're here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do a point estimate, though. I didn't actually count how many points black had. I just knew it was
counting.
A lot.
Very important to count, I guess.
Yeah. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It was actually funny. I was a postdoc just came in my lab, and I asked him if he played Go, because he came from China. And he's like, I've heard of Go. My father played Go. He taught me Go. He played like Chinese version of chess. He didn't get into Go very much. But he's like, they say that people in Go are like very good at math because it like requires a lot of counting and like point calculation. I'm like, maybe some Go players are like.
Well, it's
because like I pay so little attention to points and like I count so little at the game. That stereotype is completely wasted on me. I'm decent at math. I just don't use it.
Yeah, it's not even complicated math that you have to do. It's like even when you get to the complicated in-game positions, it's just this plus this or this minus this. It's not anything complicated. So
yeah. So this is about what I got for black right now. Like 41.
41? Okay.
Seems reasonable. And white would have 3, 6, 2. So 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's about 21 in the lower left below this line here. Oops. Yes, like 21 as like the border here. And then 5, I guess. Give it 5.
Yeah, sure.
And then
it's okay.
I don't know what this is for. Yeah,
it's at least 2 because it's not alive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's at least 2, so it'll be 2 eyes. That's how I always count a group that's not settled yet.
Oh, that's a good idea. Right. So white has what did I say here? That's another thing I forgot. So 3, 6,
It was
22. So white barely has 30-ish.
Yeah, but white has a lot of influence and a lot of potential. So black is definitely leading and actual points.
So black definitely black felt good about this game though, according to AlphaGo's calculations. So this was so many players would just do this.
Yeah, that's something that you see all the time on
players would do this, and don't do that. If people are afraid of points getting ripped away from their moyos, I invite you to take the challenge of play this on Rensei, pincer both of their approach stones, develop a whole right side moyo, and then when they try to invade, just cap their stones. And literally work on like here, because this is actually, I think, is a pretty good exercise. Because I was reading a post on Reddit about like playing anxiety, and like people just like get nervous when people invade and play weird things. So do this. Just go here, do this thing. Like, let this happen. So you're black, right? And then you pincer and you do this. Do this. Okay.
Oh.
And then, yeah. And then just like do something. Don't even, like, literally don't even think that's territory. And if they try to, like, reduce you, just Tanuki somewhere, right? If they try to, like, reduce you, just, like, cap it. Like in your brain, give that up. Like, literally give it up and just try to transfer that potential to some other part of the board. And just harass the group that's trying to sort of reduce you. Because that's sort of the way you get over the fear of like, oh god, I have a Moya, like I need to protect all my points super passively. Kind of deal. At least it's helped me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you only protect your points. Like it's all about, like when you have a Moyo, it's all about counting. You only protect your points if you're going to win.
Yeah. Exactly. So that, oh god. You know, at first I was right. At first I was like, it's not that bad if I mess up the tree. Now I'm just like, oh god. What happened?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Wait, GoBaduk says top right, new Joseki.
Yeah, you messed up.
But did I play it wrong? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, your idea was still there, and you can still understand. So
cool. Make the Joseki right in your brains, folks. It's all good.
Yeah, if Galucci says so, then
it's
that's
right.
a new Joseki.
I've done a lot of study. I think that's a winner. You're gonna see that in pro circuits.
You have to play it. You're gonna see it. Yeah. All the new games. I'm gonna start playing that.
It's all the rage right now. Oh my god.
I think GoBaduk needs to go study some more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, GoBaduk. I don't know. Oh man. All right. So yeah, sweetie.
Oh yeah, not that.
Instead. Also, like that's making like this group weak, and it's still not alive yet. So this was a good move. And now black executes that's attached. This attach is great too, because it's kind of like a get out of jail free card if like your triangled stone here becomes weak. Yeah. Like you don't need to pay too much attention to how strong or weak this is if you have this in the back pocket to just throw down.
Well, if you usually if you just want to settle quickly and try to settle either with more points or incente, then attaching is like a very common technique to use for it.
Yeah.
But white doesn't care.
No. White's just like, that's the take your 5 points there. I don't need those. So this is cool. We see a little bit of a instruction on how to harass a weak sort of center group. Oh, no problem, Allie. I mean, as long as you know where to find me. Cool shape point poke. Cool shape.
I think that's a very good lesson to learn. Actually, is M10. Because
it's an interesting
you're not
direction.
And you're not just trying to just cut through the stones. You're trying to just bully the stones a little bit.
Right. Yeah, you're not overextending and trying to kill everything. You're just trying to make them, very weak. At first, I was like, why wouldn't white poke shape from this direction and also get points? But I think the reason is like this move also like starts to put pressure on just disconnecting black completely.
Well, and right? If you go from the other direction, black can make more use of white's weaknesses, like a 09. You can do a peep there. Like there's more potential for black to try stuff. So this is like the weaker group.
Right.
AlphaGo says Tengen is a good move. Only on this board.
Yes.
Just don't tell Josh.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Tengen's a good move.
Tengen's approved from AlphaGo. Oh my god. Okay, hear me out. We get a group of people. We make a server, like we hack AlphaGo, Make it the next time
All
AlphaGo
right,
plays a
that's
professional, we hack AlphaGo and make it play Tengen for the first move.
That'd be a lot of work, but
just watch the professional, whoever it is, Kachi or whatever, just go insane slowly.
No, that would be really interesting to see how AlphaGo would play as black with Tengen.
Oh, I would love it. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, it'd be worth it. Yes, it would be worth it.
So this is because this is cool to try to figure out, what sorts of dual purposes that Black is trying to do, right? So Black is definitely threatening things while making shape for his stuff here. Like, he's also sort of threatening to cut off these 3 white stones and, like, turn all of this into profit. And it's really interesting that, this is just so weird. But it's really interesting that Black didn't immediately, like, follow up and try to, like, just secure this quadrant of the board. I guess it just wasn't enough, but I don't see how this made anything better.
Well, the idea, I think, was just he wants to keep the groups separated because there's a lot of Aji. And maybe you can do something, but maybe you can't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if there was another move later on.
That ended in Sente for Black, so...
Yeah.
Tengen 5533 opening. I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah, that was. I think that was Go Sagan who did that. But I don't really remember.
I feel like Go Sagan was like. Did you ever watch Looney Tunes?
Yeah,
I feel like Go Sagan was just like Bugs Bunny, like messing with the opera singer, right? He just like does these things because like he knows doesn't matter what he'll win, right? Like. It just sort of like
just messing around, having fun,
than to just like have fun.
Well, just think like back then they thought that only playing a 3-4 point was the important thing to play.
Yeah.
And so you start off with like Tengen, and they're just thinking, "Wow, I'm just going to win this game." Yep. It's a good psychological battle right there.
It really is. It really is. So it doesn't work. Okay, so explain to me this. Thing, yeah. Explain to me these things.
Maybe AlphaGo can Ellie Reigns. Yeah. So can I have control then?
Yeah, go for it.
So the idea here, first of all, like extending once is at least good, but the idea here is that if let me see, what was it? It was. Without this move, it takes fewer moves to capture the white stones in the middle. So if white does something over here, it's entirely possible for black to do something on this side, or like I guess that was the cut here. Yeah, this was the variation, I think. But the idea was just that if white is trying something over here, black will always be able to come back and reduce the liberties from this side. But if white has this exchange on the board and then comes out in a way like this, now it takes a couple more moves, and there still needs 2 more moves here. So it's like, oops.
Gotcha.
That's just all it was, though. It's like there's I believe it's sacrifice 2 stones instead of 1. That little proverb. This is the same idea. You're sacrificing 1 more stone so that it takes more moves for black to capture. And in this case, like, black can capture these stones like this.
Right.
But according to the game, I think it was just this wasn't enough points for black, so black didn't capture this way for some reason.
That's so interesting.
And wanted to leave some Aji on the board. So like if when black just captures this way and white turns out, there's a little bit of Aji in this, just in this whole area. Like maybe like a wedge might be able to happen, or you'll be able to cut these off. But the problem was that white's all connected.
Yeah.
but it left the potential for something to be happening on the board later.
Right. So Black
we
knew that
can't say it
capturing
was
those stones would be a much more a much surer defeat versus leaving.
Yeah,
them.
it was. Yeah, because white can just be solid, but it's hard to say if it was good or bad. I think that's what they said in the commentary. It's like, if you're going to lose anyway, you might as well have captured the souls thing or whatever. But I think that's what it was. But
Right.
no, I thought this was really interesting. It's like, even here, AlphaGo is trying to use these stones. Like, he considers them dead, but he's making a couple exchanges to make it so they don't die as easily or as quickly. Yeah. Was there anything else in the game?
I think that about sealed the deal. That was a great game.
It was. It's a lot of. It was really fun.
Yeah. So back and forth. Well, it was like both of them were like gearing up their strategies and had to execute them at the same time. But yeah, guys.
White was just a little bit better.
Yep. And I bet if Black captured those stones, he would have maybe lost by like 1.5. Like, I bet the margin of victory of like defeat was not big.
Yeah,
but the computer's
that's
just so good at calculating that that's not good enough, right? So.
Yeah, and what they said is that AlphaGo tries to play each move as if their opponent is going to play as perfectly as it can see.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it thinks it's going to lose by 1 point, then that's already like a 55% chance of losing, you know?
Yeah.
Because your opponent's going to play perfectly, so obviously you're just going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
It's really kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. Because like that also means when AlphaGo is playing against a person, that it has the faith, like it thinks the person's going to play as well as it will.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
At least it has honor, I guess. I guess that's what it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a lot of faith, I guess.
Or opponent. Faith, yes. Maybe one of those things.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was great. This is a really cool game. Thanks for being on to review it with me. Had some really cool stuff.
It was fun.
Awesome.
So you're gonna play a game later, or are you gonna go?
I think, unfortunately, I have to piece. I have to just like do some unexpected work.
Okay.
But this was great. I'm glad I got this in, and this is going to be on my YouTube channel and website. So anybody who wants to see it again or review the game can totally find it later. But for now, I'm going to head out, unfortunately. But next week, I'll be back, hopefully for a little bit longer, and play some games. I made a new TieGem 2-Don account called R2D2. Thanks, Mega Man, for the idea. And I'll try to give that for a test run soon. So, Julie, say Stu to hello and unfortunately goodbye. I just finished saying my farewells because I actually need to go do unexpected work. But if you want to play back the Twitch stream recording it has of the thing and see what we just went through an AlphaGo game, so you can do that. Check out all my other stuff, guys. Triton, once again, thanks, and I will see you guys next week.
See ya.
See ya.